What a lad. Well, today I'm lucky enough to be joined by one of the biggest personalities in our game. The bubbly and energetic New Zealand Black Ferns 7-star is an absolute gun on the field with her combination of footwork and gas, which leaves her opponents in all sorts. But like many, she's had an incredible rollercoaster journey from the heights of winning the gold medal at the Tokyo Olympics to the lows of recovering from 3 separate ACL injuries, including the most recent one, which has ruled her out of the Paris Olympics. But that has not stopped her from heading over, as her talent behind the mic has managed to get her on the plane this time. The sport needs more personalities like today's guest, so I'm super excited to have her on. It is, of course, the great Shiray Kaka. Welcome.
Oh, thanks, bro. Sorry, I can just hear the dogs playing up in the background and Gillies doing absolutely nothing about it. Gillies, do your job, man. Sort the dogs out, please.
One job, Gillies.
Yeah, I'm like missing the most amazing intro of my life, and he's ruining it by not sorting the dogs out. Oh, but thanks, bro. Happy as to be on.
Oh, stoked to have you on, and I'm sure you probably went through a few emotions in that intro. Like, you've had some roller coaster, haven't you? Like, professional sport can be pretty brutal at times, and you've been through more than most with a shoulder surgery, 3 separate ACLs. You've had some tough times as well.
Yeah, it's like just listening to the roller coaster in your intro. Sometimes I forget about it. Sometimes I forget about how hard my second ACL surgery was, and how I probably wouldn't be here doing this podcast if I had stayed in that mindset. So it's quite cool to take a look back and listen to the roller coaster that I've been through, because again, I've got a lot to be grateful for. So you've just reminded me of that. So thanks heaps.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting into the whole journey of it. But I, like many, are obviously so gutted that you're still not going to be on the field over there in Paris. But how are you feeling? Have you come to terms with the whole reality of it?
Some days I'm like, I've come to terms with it. I'm so excited. And then other days, like today, I could just break down any second. The girls got all their gear yesterday. The Olympic bags are looking amazing. And they're just watching them yesterday they were doing some Olympic game replications, and just being out there and watching how cool they are. It just reminds me like what I could have been a part of. And I know I'm still a part of the team. I know I'm still their sister. I know I'm still a part of the family, but it's just different now. And so yesterday I was feeling a sense of pride and kind of like just a proud older sister moment, watching them do their thing. But today I'm hurting a little bit. So yes, you've caught me at the right time, man. What a lad. Thanks for that.
So how did you injure it? What was the actual injury? How'd you do it?
Gosh, so we were playing against Great Britain over in Singapore, and it's a step that I've done 1,000 times before. And all of a sudden I'm just down on the ground and the ball's gone somewhere, and when I went down, Michaela was like, Shiray, the ball, and I was like, my knee.
Stuff the ball.
I'm not about the damn ball. Like, I know we're gonna win anyway. Like, my knee. But it was quite funny because everyone's like, oh, you've felt an ACL twice before, you must have known that it was an ACL. But I really didn't. I'd forgotten about what the feeling was like because it had been so long. And so when I had done it this time, I was like, oh, maybe it's just an MCL, or maybe it's just a kneecap, maybe it'll just be 6 weeks and I'll be sweet. And so because I was fine, I could walk off the field and everything.
Oh, okay.
And some poor guy came up to me and he's like, do you want a wheelchair? And I was like, get that freaking wheelchair off my face. Out of my face. I do not want to sit in a damn wheelchair because this is nothing. So it wasn't until I got to the doctor and got it checked. And he was like, I think it's an ACL. And I was like, I don't believe you. I'm going to get an MRI done. MRI comes back, complete rupture. So, oh God.
What's that moment like for you?
There was actually a creepy moment before the game. So we had warmed up and we were walking into the tunnels to put our jerseys on, and I saw a wheelchair in the tunnel, and I was like, shit, I'm going to need that. I'm going to do my ACL. And I was like, hang on a minute, that was weird. Had never had that feeling before, had goosebumps and everything. And then flushed it, went into the game. And so I think that's why I got angry at the guy when he asked me if I wanted a wheelchair, because I was like, no, if it's that damn wheelchair that was in the tunnel, then I do not want to be sitting in it. So yeah, as soon as the doctor told me, I just broke down. Broke down, got on the phone to Gillies and broke down a little more. Just because I was finally doing what I knew I could do. And I doubted myself too, but so many others doubted me. And I've just had so many people say, like, come on, Ray, maybe this is enough. Like, maybe there's something else for you. And so I was finally on the field. I was finally starting. I was finally someone that the coach could count on. And I was finally someone that the girls could count on. And I was just so confident in my abilities. And I knew that I was going to get on the big show at the Olympics and I was going to perform. Like I knew that I was going to do that. So to get it stripped away just from a step that I had done 1,000 times.
Yeah.
God, it was just so frustrating. It was so, so frustrating. And just the timing of it as well, like was what was quite hard. So yeah, it wasn't fun. It wasn't fun, but managed to still be there for the fans, be there for the girls. And when they won Singapore, it was so confusing because I was so happy for them, but I was so sad for myself. So
yeah.
I was like, sorry to some of the girls. I probably ruined their celebrations in Singapore. But yeah, so it was just such a confusing time, and it kind of still is as well. So yeah.
How did you move into the TV presenting side of things? Was that always something you wanted to do? Obviously, it's given you a new, I guess, goal and way to get over to Paris, which is pretty cool. But was that always part of a plan?
Nah, it was never part of the plan, because my one plan was to go to the Olympics and play. But actually, I suppose it was a part of the plan because it's something that I enjoy doing, and it's something that I get to do with my husband as well, which is a cool thing that we've created. But I guess the main goal for all the media stuff that I was doing was to show him how amazing our team is. Like, I think we won gold at the Tokyo Olympics, and then we've kind of not been forgotten, but we're not out there as much as we should have. Like, it's an Olympic Games, and some people still don't know that rugby is in the Olympics. And that's people in New Zealand too. So my goal was just to remind New Zealand that, we're still here, and there's some amazing players coming through in both the men's and the sevens. And so I just wanted our team to get our flowers. Like, I wanted people to remember. And so that was kind of the passion that started me doing media stuff and me interviewing the players. And then I was like, actually, I think I quite like this. I think I like quite yarning and showing people who the athletes are behind the jersey. I want people to know who brushes their teeth and who doesn't. And I won't name them, but Georgia Miller. No, I want them to know stuff that they'd never find out. Us playing on the field, like, who cares how many tackles we've missed? Like, do you know how many cool things we're doing off the field too? So yeah, that's the passion.
Oh, I love it. And you're so good at it too. You're like so natural in front of the camera. And is that something you've always been, I guess, since you were young? Have you always been confident public speaker, confident in front of a camera?
I don't think so. I asked my mum that, actually. I'll get her to answer that one. But I think it's more so after the second ACL injury that I've had. Like, I've always been quite cheeky. I've always been quite outspoken, but I haven't done it from a place of trueness like I do now. I am so, like, after that second injury, that was my third. After my third surgery, I had to dive deep into who I was. And so now I know that everything is just coming from the most authentic place because I've worked on it.
Yeah.
And so I can show up on the camera and I can be me because I'm not afraid to be.
Yeah.
But before, I didn't know who I was. So how am I supposed to show up for other people when I don't even know who I am? So I think, it was a learning curve of who I truly am so that I can show up on camera and be that person and not be all shit, really.
Yeah, that's so cool. And you mentioned Gillies before, like it's so cool that you guys get to do it together, like you mentioned. What's your working relationship like with Gillies? Is it just the same as it is at home? Or like some people find it tough to work with their partner, or they're supposed to be your first time.
I think the only time is when if he can't be bothered doing something and I can't be bothered doing something, but we have to, that's when we're like, oh, no, this is not going to work because he's not in the mood, I'm not in the mood. It's just like the other stuff, that the R18 stuff you do, it's not as great if you're not both in it. So we have to plan times and we have to make sure everyone's had their caffeine. And
is that the R18 stuff as well?
No, yeah, I won't say what that is, but so we are both quite. Oh, he's actually quite shy in real life. Like it's hard to get stuff out of him. Yeah, in real life, not through the screen. And so when people meet him, they're like, "Hey, this is a normal." But even his mum and mum said to me, like you've brought him out of his shell, which is like that's the hugest compliment to me. It's not about whether I'm good at cooking or cleaning. Like I brought him out of his shell and I helped him become his truest, loud, annoying self. Sometimes I regret that, but. So him being able to be himself, me being able to be himself, I'm not a him, sorry, myself brings together, and that's how we're able to work together. So we're still learning as well, though. We're not pros or anything at this. We're just two idiots that have a phone. So
I'm looking forward to watching and tuning in. Obviously, like I know so many people will be, but one thing I do like to always do on this podcast is start the journey from the start. So I'm keen to hear a little bit about your upbringing and how you first came to this world, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. How did I first come to this world? So my mum and dad, love them both. They both ran away from home quite young and had a lot of kids. Sorry, my dad had a lot of kids. My mum had 4, and then my dad went and did his thing, and we've got like 10 brothers and sisters.
Oh wow!
Yeah, he went to work. So, Dad, if you're listening, please stop. I love you, but please stop. So yeah, they got divorced quite young, and again, a rough childhood sometimes. Spent most of my life I was a daddy's girl, and then he left, and so I was trying to chase the perfect man, and ended up in really shit relationships, not just because of them, but because I was too young as well, and not just looking for the wrong thing at the wrong time. So had a pretty, I would say, interesting little upbringing, and especially interesting kind of teenage years, trying to find my place and trying to always earn dad's love almost. So that was fun to work with as well. And it's quite funny too, because it was like a perception, he did love me, but I just thought I wasn't good enough to love because he left. So it was cool working through that as well, and understanding, like, that's why one of my biggest things is worth, because I thought I wasn't worthy for any love, really. So that's one thing that I worked on, and one thing that I will hold to my heart, like, dearly, that everyone is worthy, no matter where you come from, no matter if your parents are together or not, if you have money or not, like, you're always worthy. So that was probably a cool thing that I got from my childhood, one of my biggest ones. My mum is just absolutely beautiful. Like, she's got some issues of her own, like, love you, mum, but but she us love, because all of my dad's children, they call her auntie. We've got a good relationship with them because they came for sleepovers. Like, she was just she wasn't somebody who kept us away from our brothers and sisters. One of them lives with us, with her at the moment, and he's thriving as well. She's just somebody that shows me unconditional love, and she shows all the kids unconditional love. So that is it's something I learned from her as well. So I learned worth from dad, and I learned unconditional love from mum. So that's probably 2 things that I take away from them. So all the troubles that they had in their childhood as well, and the work they did to get me where I am. Like, I'm really grateful for both of them. So yeah.
What's your relationship like with your siblings?
Oh, good. Like, they just keep me so humble though.
Yeah.
They keep me so humble. I'm like, oh, like they're so proud of me. They love me, but they always tell me what's up. Well, no, actually, my nieces and nephews, they're the most ruthless ones. You know, they love me at the same time, but they're like, Auntie Ray, don't ever do that again. I'm like, okay, cool. Okay, that one wasn't cool. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, or it's just, Auntie Ray, do you have money to go get some sushi? Like, it's that humble stuff, you know. But I love them. But yeah, half Samoan, half Māori as well.
Yeah.
But again, because my mum and dad ran away from home, I don't know if they ran away or if they just left, because my mum got pregnant quite young, so they just moved, and we didn't get to have that connection to both the Māori language and Samoan language. So I think that's why it is why I'm trying to learn it now, so that I can give it to my kids.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's their fault or anything, you know. They were just doing the best they could with whatever they had at the time. I mean, they were 16 and 17, so quite young. But so yeah, that's one of my biggest goals now, is to learn Samoan and get Gillies to learn Māori, so that our kids can have both, which would be cool.
Yeah, that's cool. How is your journey going with the Samoan language?
Oh my gosh, I've got a lesson after this. It is so hard, but but my teacher is just she's so she keeps everything safe, and she just makes me want to learn. She keeps me speaking, so that I just feel comfortable in doing it. And I think the coolest thing about sharing it is that so many others, there's 50-year-olds messaging me asking where I do my lessons so that they can start their journey. Like, how cool is that?
Cool. Yeah.
It's unreal. And I know Samoa is such a small place as well, but they've got just like the history and everything of their country and their people. I just want to do them proud, and I want to, my grandma's quite sick at the moment, so I want to be able to speak to her before she goes. So that's probably the biggest goal for me, is to make her proud, even though she probably already is.
Sure she is.
Yeah.
But it's so cool that you're in that position where you can, I guess, influence so many people and inspire so many people to pick up a language, because I know how hard it is trying to learn a new language. I remember my time in Japan, man, all I know is blimmin' konnichiwa. But all the things is like learning a whole language is a big commitment and a big process to sort of go through. But
yeah. I think I know more Japanese.
It looks like you're on fire.
I know more Japanese than Samoan. That's why I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to sort it out. I sort it out. Oh, how long were you there for in Japan?
I was there for 2 years.
Oh yeah. We want to get back there.
Yeah, what a spot.
Just the food and everything. Yeah, we'll get back there one day. Not sure when though.
Oh, yeah, same. But back to your journey. Were you always a gifted athlete? Like, did you know you were good at sport coming through as a young kid?
Yeah. I think that's the annoying thing, is I was good, so I didn't have to work very hard.
Oh, okay.
So I was one of those ones, you know, where I just got into every team. It was really easy. And yeah, I was talented. I was fast. I don't think I was fit, but I was fast and I was talented. Like, I could just do things quite naturally. Yeah. And so when I got to sevens and I wasn't cracking it, and there was people that were better than me, I took the easy way out, and I was like, I don't care. I'm not going to train hard. I wasn't one of those success stories where I got to sevens and I was like, I'm going to work very hard. I'm going to be amazing. I went the other way and I was like, oh, fuck this. Like, I was like, it's the coaches. They just don't like me, or, it's just, I'm amazing and they just don't want to see it. But not once did I think, maybe I should work a little bit harder. Maybe I should do some extra trainings. It didn't like that mindset didn't come naturally to me, again, because I had made every team. So showing up to training was enough. Like, I thought that was enough. Showing up to a game was enough. I didn't know about eating healthy, well, first of all, I didn't have the money to eat healthy. I was spaghetti bolognese every night, or noodles on toast. That was because I was on a uni student, like, I had no money. So, and we didn't have contracts back then as well. I think my first one was $3,500. So, yeah, I was eating budget.
Yeah. What age are you here when you've given sevens a crack?
I think I was 17, 18. Yeah, 18. Yeah, so I'd given, and that's when I got the first $3,500 contract. And I was like, yo, let's go shopping. I remember taking my friends to the base in Te Rapa, and we went shopping, and all my money was gone in like one thing. Again, I was 18, didn't know about budgeting, didn't know how to eat. So yeah, it was all just annoying to me that it wasn't coming easy like the rest had.
Yeah.
And so I reckon I went through from 2013 until the end of Rio Olympics. I went through the not training hard stage. So I still managed to get traveling reserve at the Rio Olympics. Yeah. But even then, when I didn't crack the Olympic team in Rio, I was like, no, he just doesn't know what he's talking about, you know. Yeah. And part of it might have been, but still, I know with how hard I work now that wasn't enough. So it's quite funny, like thinking about it now. I'm just like, wow, Ray, you really just thought you would just crack an Olympic team by doing nothing, and I almost did.
Yeah, I was going to say you got pretty close. You must have been extremely talented.
I know. Probably even to 2017 and stuff as well. I hadn't really figured out how to train still. Yeah. So when I got surgery on my shoulder, I didn't know how to come back from it. Like I didn't know what hard work was. So doing that was quite funny as well. Like I think about the rehab and everything that I do now. I'm like, how did I keep playing? I have no idea. No idea. And when I hear all these stories about athletes, you know, that the hours they put in, the food they ate and everything, I'm like, man, you must have had a really good childhood, eh? I'm like, man, your parents must have taught you how to eat well, or you got some money to go and buy some broccoli. Because, jeez. Oh, God, yeah.
Oh, that's cracker. So did you have to go through those rehab processes by yourself? You didn't have a physio or anyone helping you through those?
No, I had physios helping me through. But again, it was the bare minimum with me. Yeah. It was the bare minimum. I would go in, I would do my rehab and then leave and then, you know, not have anything to do after that. My first ACL, I wasn't in the team because I had done it in Japan. So I was kind of by myself, but not really. Like I still had physios that were willing to help me out and everything. Yeah. But yeah, it wasn't great. Like I was just at home trying to do it myself. So, and the surgery process over in Japan is way different to here in New Zealand. Way different. Like I had to they wanted me to stay in hospital for 2 weeks after my ACL surgery in Japan. Yeah. But over here, it's overnight and then you're gone. So I'm like, I'm thinking they don't give you painkillers in Japan. Is what I'm thinking. I don't know. It was weird.
They definitely do it different. So did you move over to Japan with Gillies, who was playing over there at the time?
Yeah. So after the first Rio Olympics, when I didn't make it, I was just like, oh, stuff yous, I'm out of here. And I went and moved with Gillies. And so that's when I started playing over there and did my knee. Yeah. So we're over there. He was over there for maybe 6 years and I stayed for maybe 2.
Far out.
Yeah, and then I was just in and out of Japan all the time while I was trying to still crack sevens here. And I'd just go over and visit him all the time.
Man, that's a long time of long distance, obviously, 4 years apart.
Yeah, and then it was COVID time too. So I think we went like 7 months or so like without seeing each other.
Wow.
Yeah, so that R18 part was not existent. That was the roughest part. No, just joking. So it was trying to maintain a career, to maintain a relationship, maintain our household, because we bought this house. We're on rural land, like 20 acres, got cows and pigs and everything. But he bought this land. I didn't want to live here. He bought this land and then he just left to Japan. And so he's like, here you go. You've got to look after 20 acres. You know nothing about anything farm life. Like, we've got tanks here and we ran out of water, but I didn't know what tanks were. And so I called the plumber and I was like, hey, like, something's wrong with our pipes. He comes and knocks on the tanks and he's like, your tanks are empty. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. That's great. I don't know what tanks are. So yeah, trying to maintain everything and still play. It was that was when I knew I had cracked hard work.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, like, this is what it's like. I've got a routine down packed. The dogs are doing well. Like, my eating's good, my rugby's good, and even without Gillies, like, I can still do this. So yeah, I reckon it was like a good learning for us.
Yeah, how good. And how'd you two meet?
How did we meet? I tell this story all the time, but I feel like it changes. But so, no, yes. We were thinking about jumping on with the product Usana. I don't know if you've heard it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was like one of those Herbalife type things.
The pyramid scheme.
Yeah, that we didn't think it was a pyramid scheme, but I think it is. I was just like, oh, this is going to help me, help me get better and help me make the team. Anyway, we were both doing it, and I saw he had posted he was doing it, and oh my God, I messaged him first.
Did you?
I did.
About Usana?
About Usana. Well, because he was a bit older, so I was like, not keen or anything.
How much older?
He's 5 years older than me.
Oh, 5 years. Oh, okay.
Yeah. But so yeah, I messaged him on Instagram, talked about that, and then it slowly started to Snapchat. And back in those days, Snapchat, you could send anything you like. So and then it ended up being something. But I remember him actually. He messaged one of the girls asking if I was single before I DM'd him. But I didn't know he had messaged her. Yeah. I know.
Oh, so there's interest both parties.
He was interested first. I was interested in knowing what he was doing with Usana. So so we'll take that.
Yeah. Oh, and that's cool. Like you mentioned before, how you felt like you didn't really feel like you could be loved, and then obviously the Prince Charming comes along, and now you guys have been together. What must be like 8-9 years? Or?
Yeah, something like 19 years maybe. We've been married for 5, I think.
Wow. Yeah.
But it definitely wasn't perfect, like when we were first messaging, he was still messaging other girls, I was still messaging other guys. Like it still wasn't perfect.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't, okay, we were messaging each other and then that's it. Like it definitely wasn't like that. But, I was still seeing other people too, and he was, so it was actually still a bit of a shit show.
Yeah.
Like it was not a nice time. And so when I got to the point where I was like, okay, we are seeing each other a lot and doing a lot of things for each other, I just said to him, right, this is it, because he was living in Hawke's Bay and I was living in Hamilton. And I said, what are we doing? Like we either need to go or I've got to go, because you're messing with my head here. I think we're both messing. Like I'm messing with your head, you're messing with my head. What are we going to do? And typical, like I sent this huge message, like, what do you want to do? Like all of these feelings. And all he replied was, move to Hawke's Bay. That's it. One line. And I was like, so are we a go? This is so confusing. And then, the move to Hawke's Bay, and the rest is history.
True. Oh, you did pack up the bags and move.
Yeah, I packed up the bags and moved. And then actually, when I first moved there, I think it was 3 days in, so some of my stuff was still in the car. We went to the park to walk the dogs, come back, and my car's stolen.
Oh, wow.
I know. So if you were in Havelock and you stole a black Subaru, anyway, all my stuff was in it. And I thought to myself, I was like, maybe I made the wrong decision. Maybe that's why my car got stolen. But anyway, I obviously made the right decision, because we're here now in this beautiful home. So
yeah, look at you, happily married. How good.
Exactly.
Good to see. And back to your journey, like you mentioned beforehand, you missed out on Rio, but you still went as a travelling reserve What was that like for you mentally and I guess emotionally?
It was really hard actually because I I'm so close.
Yeah.
And one of my friends, Gail Broughton, she had done her ACL, and so she was still playing at she got named in the team. And the coach kept saying to me, if she can't finish this game, then we're going to pull you in. So this is at the Olympics, first game, and then he's like, oh, the second game, if she can't play, I'm going to put you in. And then he wouldn't put her on the field, or it was just a bit of a mind fuck, because I was like, oh my god, I'm going to get to play at the Olympics because she can't get through a game, and so that was hard enough as well, because Gail was one of my closest friends. Like, I absolutely love her, but I'm waiting for her. I'm waiting for her, and I'm praying that she doesn't get injured. But he's saying that I'm going to get on the field, so it was actually a really, really rough time mentally, because I think it would have been easy if I didn't like Gail, but I absolutely love her. Like, she's one of the best people ever. So it was just a confusing time. And again, I was so young, so I don't even know how old I would have been there, like maybe 19.
Oh wow, were you that young?
Was I that young? We had 2016. I can't. 21 maybe.
Yeah, far out.
Something like that.
Still young.
And it sucked as well, because obviously Gillies made the Rio Olympics, but he spent all of his time making sure I was okay. So I ruined his Olympic experience, which that one haunts me, because he's never going to be able to do that again. He's not going to be able to experience the Olympics again. And although he says, he still had a good time, he played well, he enjoyed playing. There was still times when, the boys were playing hacky sack and, having fun and just being idiots together.
Yeah.
But he was with me, and consoling me and just hanging out with me. So I robbed him of that experience. So yeah, like that, it just sucks that the mental space I was in not only ruined my experience, but ruined his too. So yeah, it's not a space that I ever want to go back to.
It's hard traveling, because you are so close. You're still one injury away from being in there, but you're just not quite part of it, or you don't quite feel part of it, do you? It's hard to still feel like you're in that team when you're not in it.
Yeah, and the thing is too, you're pretty much, I was going to say bitch boy, but I'm like, you're there to do whatever the team needs.
Yeah.
So you have to be selfless. You have to say, okay, I'm a halfback, but I'm going to play winger because that's where they need the numbers.
Yeah.
Or they need shakers, so I'm not doing anything, so I'll go and help them do stuff. Or I have to bring energy because that's who I naturally am. And you just have to do so many selfless things when there's people doing what you want to do. Like that was your goal.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a really tough place, even with some of the people that are in 13th, 14th now for the men's and women's. Like, I feel for them, because it is hard, and you don't want to wish an injury upon anybody, but the only way you're going to get in is that happening. So so that's that's a mental thing as well. Like, you love your sister, but if she gets injured, you're going to be happy because you're in.
Yeah.
So it's just. It's not nice at all. It's really not a nice place to be in.
Yeah. And then post that Rio, you mentioned that you sort of threw the towel a little bit. You sort of had enough.
I had a mean hissy fit, honestly. Yeah. I was like, I'm going to go places where people appreciate me. And I think people did appreciate me, but I just didn't see it. I wasn't open to seeing it.
Yeah.
Because the only way that I thought I could be appreciated was if I was playing in the team, which is something I've learned now, that it's not the only way that you can be appreciated. And now with being in the team and being part of the culture space of the team, like I just know there's so many other ways to be appreciated now, and I wish I knew that back then. But,
You got really good self-awareness of, especially looking back in reflection and knowing what you've gone through.
Oh, it's annoying. I wish I didn't. I honestly wish I was just so like blasé and like didn't think deeply about things, because I think life would be so much easier. But I think that's why I'm a little bit cuckoo. And so I have to meditate. I have to sit down and sort shit out. Otherwise, if you let me loose, man, I don't know what would happen. But yeah, I'm always trying to think of how to be better, and how not just like for rugby or anything, but just mentally, like how I can show up as myself better, or always just checking in and making sure it's something I'm doing. Because I just don't want to be someone who's all shit. I really don't. Like, I've just seen a lot of people that are all shit in my life, and I'm like, I'm not going to be that. I'm
so
not
one
going to be
goal.
that. Yeah. It's like, you don't look like you don't look like it though. I can usually sniff it out, and you don't smell like it.
Oh, phew. Oh, so then you go to Japan. Yeah, you're playing. Who are you playing for over there?
Random team called Rugby. And it was very new, very fresh, but it was just so much fun.
Yeah, professional or no?
Yeah, I was getting paid.
Yeah,
yeah. It was professional. I think like the start of it was people like Morgan Morrow, Keisha Grant, like they were some of the first ones to be over there.
Yeah.
And I just messaged them and asked, and they got me in a team. And then that's when I did my ACL over there the first time.
Yeah.
That was just horrific. Oh, I got so chubby too over there because the food is just so nice. Like here, the shop is like 30 minutes away to get a sweet treat. But over in Japan, you walk like 10 meters. There's a 7-Eleven. There's a freaking vending machine with like fizzies. So I got a bit chubby over there, but it was a good learning for me that I have no self-control. That's it. But yeah, enjoyed my rugby over there. If I could, I would definitely go back and play just to have some fun and be with new people again. Not sure when that'll happen. In my head, I've got a timeline, and I don't know if it'll happen again, but I'd like it to. Yeah. So that was 2016 and 2017, and then tried to come back into the team.
Yeah, what was the decision behind that? Just missed it.
After my first ACL surgery, I knew I wanted to come back. Like as soon as I woke up from my surgery, Gillies and I had a pen and paper, and we were writing down my goals and what I wanted to do. And rugby was at the top of the list. Like I had done what I needed to do in Japan, and I'm a bit like spiritual and woo like that. And I thought that because I did my ACL over in Japan, it wasn't where I was supposed to be.
Oh, yeah.
And so, I was like, okay, let's just give it a crack. Let's go back and try and make this happen. And it did, but it took me a while. Did I get straight back into it? Yes, I did. I messaged Bunce, and I was like, hey, do you need any wingers? And he's like, hey, no, we don't. They were like, well, because they were so stacked. Like, they had their players. And so I was like, cool, I'm going to try and come anyway, and cracked a contract, which was great. Okay. Oh, no. Sorry, that was after my second ACL. I'm getting a little bit confused with all the ACLs. But, came back 2018, then did my ACL again. And then that's when it was quite hard to come back because their team was just stacked.
Yeah. How'd you do your ACL the second time?
Stood on somebody's foot.
Oh.
It was so stupid. Like, it was just in a drill, like in a warm-up drill. Geez. Just stood on someone's foot and it went out. And I remember the physio telling me like, oh, no, it's not your ACL. Like it might just be a kneecap or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, cool, sweet, like all good. And then I get a call on Saturday and she's like, oh, can you come in? And I was like, okay, it must be bad if you're calling me in on our day off. But It was a Wednesday or a Saturday anyway. It was a day off. And then the look in her eyes, I was just like, okay, I've done it again, haven't I? Shit. And then just went into a downward spiral after that.
Yeah.
Like once I got that news, like I was drinking, I was doing drugs, I was, anything under the sun to make me feel a bit better.
Were you by yourself at this point? Gillies was still in Japan.
Yeah. Gillies was in Japan, and he came back for the surgery, but it was the pre-surgery stuff. Yeah, that I started getting into trying to feel better and trying to feel better in the wrong ways and using the wrong things to do it.
Yeah.
And that just, it would send me on a high, but then it would send me on a real, real low afterwards. And so, yeah, just after surgery, Gilly stayed with me for a bit, and then he had to go back to Japan because he had to do his thing, which is sweet. We needed the money to pay for this house. So I was like, please go. Like, we can't be broke as well as like depressed. That'd make it even worse. So I was like, please go. And then, yeah, I didn't get recontracted either. So
because you were injured.
Because I was injured, but because I also got in trouble with the drugs and stuff too.
Tested positive.
No, I didn't test positive. I think people just knew. People knew what I was doing.
Yeah.
And so I think that was partially another reason. So not only because I was injured, but because of the stupid stuff I was doing as well.
Yeah.
It wasn't deserving of a contract. So it was quite hard after that to not have a job, not have Gillies, and then to feel like I didn't have family. I had family. They would have come. If I had messaged my mum, she would have been here in an instant.
Yeah.
Gillies would have come home straight away. Like he would have been like, fuck the money, I'm coming home.
Yeah.
So it sucks that in that moment I wasn't strong enough to ask for help, or I just felt too stupid to ask for help as well, which sucks. And so, just went again, down, just into this massive hole that I put myself in, which is the most annoying thing. Yeah. Like, nobody else put me there. I put myself in this hole. Just was just ready to give up. Or, just didn't want to have to go through all of it again. Didn't want to have the highs and the lows and highs and lows. So it was a really rough time. Yeah, now that I look back at it, it was freaking hard, but I made it hard.
Yeah.
So, but managed to end up reaching out for help, only because my dog kept barking at me and wanted to go for a walk. So.
Oh, really? I was going to say, how did you get out of it? Like, you might feel like you were one of the few people going through that, but so many people go through those moments, eh? And how do we get people to realize how they can get out of it? And I guess that's the beauty of this story is you did get out of it, and look at you now. It's like it's so cool. But how did you saying it's a dog who saved you?
I was sitting on the couch, drink in hand.
What sort of drinks were you drinking? Just like,
it wasn't. I was into apple ciders, Summersby ciders back then.
So just waking up, smashing apple ciders and smoking weed.
A little bit, but no. So I didn't wake up. I didn't wake and bake. Okay, I wasn't that. I didn't wake
After
up
lunch.
and do. I didn't wake up and do any of that. I was like, no, like this is not for me. But I woke up. Like, it would be a night, it would go on a night out, and I'd wake up on the couch and then be like, this sucks, like hungover, shit ass attitude. And then my dog just barked at me, and she was like, come on, bro, like, we haven't been for a walk this morning. And so, went down to the bush. Like, we've got beautiful land here. And so she forced me to take them for a walk. It forced me to look up and see what I have. See what I have to be grateful for, see what I have to live for. And just in that time was like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, that was my turning point. And so as soon as I got back up to the house, I messaged Gillies, I've got a healer that I talk to, but I messaged people and I was like, I want to sort every single area of my life out, spiritual, physical, like mental, emotional. I want it all sorted because I can't have any cracks. And so, I messaged people and I was like, who's a healer? Like, I need one now. Come and sort my life out. Like, I need to meditate. I need to do all this guru shit. Like, I need every little thing. to make sure that I can do well. And oh gosh, I'm just so lucky to have Gillies as well, because he is someone who is so certain in who he is, and seeing him be himself, like, it made me want to live for that. So yeah, just went and reached out to heaps of different people, and yeah, just found out who I really wanted to be, and this is it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The finished product. Oh, it's so cool. It's inspiring. And I guess, how hard was it? Like, once you'd made that decision, I know people think like it's so hard to get out of those ruts, I guess. How hard was it in the end for you? Like,
I think, like, the lucky thing for me is that I wasn't addicted to anything. Like, I wasn't addicted to alcohol. I wasn't addicted to, like, drugs or anything like that. Like, that wasn't me. It was like, I wasn't drinking every single day.
yeah.
It would just be on the nights that it would just go a bit too far, and I would act ways that I don't usually act, or say things that I don't usually say. So yeah, I was quite lucky with that. So stopping the drinking and the drugs and all of that stuff was really easy for me.
Yeah.
Which some people don't get. Like, that's not easy for everybody. I'm still, at the moment, I don't drink either, but like, that bit was easy. It was more so the sharing of my feelings, because it felt stupid. Like, heaps of people have had injuries before. Like, heaps of people have lost their jobs, but they don't all want to be gone, you know? So like, that felt quite hard, but I was so lucky to find a community that made me feel safe and not stupid.
Yeah.
And I think that's why each day just started to become a little bit easier, because yeah, I just felt safe in sharing all of that stuff with them. And also hearing that it is normal to feel that way, like, that helped me get out of it too. Hearing other people's stories, like, I would go to my healer and just kind of listen to experiences of people she's working with, with their permission, of course, and just listen and understand and think, like, actually, I don't really have it that bad. I've got a loving husband, I've got a loving family, I've got a beautiful home, like, and just always being reminded of that. The hardest thing was probably getting into meditation. Like, oh my gosh, because my brain would be going 100 miles per hour, and having to sit and be still and breathe in and breathe out. I was like, oh God, this is like doing my head in. But so that was probably the hardest thing, was actually having to sit down and, like, be with myself. That was,
with your own thoughts.
oh my God, yeah. And I'd be there sometimes. I'd be like, Ray, you're really fucked, eh? I don't think you're well. So yeah, that actually, probably the real hardest thing was understanding that it was me. Like, understanding that my own thoughts put me here. And so the easy flip was, okay, if I got myself here, then I can 100% get myself out. So just, understanding that it was me, and that, that kind of sucked. And I was like, oh, damn it, Ray, you put yourself in this hole. Like, of course, other things happen, you know. Shit has happened to me. People have been assholes. Like, there has been some rough stuff that's happened. Like, dad leaves, whatever. That's like, I didn't do that. But to understand then that I wasn't, not strong enough, but yeah, I put myself there. That sucked. And it was hard to come to terms with.
But I love it, because that's one thing I love about this podcast, is being able to hear people like you share real experiences, because I know how many messages already I'm going to get post this around how inspired or how much this episode helped them. And every time someone does open up about mental health, I get the inbox just flows with all these messages around how hearing that has actually changed my life, or things like that. It's so powerful when someone like you can share so honestly, like, those stories. So so awesome to have you on and sharing stories like that. And
Thank you.
We're not even finished. We're still going.
But guys, don't do drugs, okay? I did it. It was a rough time, and I don't do it anymore. So we'll stick with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, NZRU, if you're listening, I promise I don't do it, okay?
Don't test anymore.
Yeah, no more.
Oh, then you obviously have the new goal of going to the Tokyo Olympics. So that's your next vision, and you've changed your training patterns by the sounds of it. You're fully focused on getting to the Olympics.
Yeah, that was when they were just stacked with wingers as well.
Yeah.
Like you got friggin' Michaela Blight, Portia Woodman, Stacey Waka, Mahina Paul, like Shakira Baker. You've got all of them that are just like amazing athletes. And so I knew it was going to be hard. And I wasn't even contracted at the time too, but I went to, I think it was Dubai, Cape Town, in 2019 maybe, and earned my spot there, which was pretty cool. And it was cool because I was coming from a perspective of, this is just something that I want to do. Like I just really love being here. And I remember thinking, you know, when I was watching them, I didn't care if they won or lose, like win or lose. It's just whatever. But when I was with them, I wholeheartedly wanted everybody to do well. And that's when I knew, I was like, okay, Ray, you're ready. Like you're ready to be back now, because the old Ray, like, wouldn't want to see people succeed unless she was in it. And so, yeah, when I had come to that moment and someone would do something well and they were in my position, I'd be so genuinely happy.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, cool, Ray. Like we've hit like the steps. You're going forward. You're making moves. And so that was pretty cool as well to experience that feeling. To experience the change actually happening in real life and not just in my meditation. So yeah, I sound really cuckoo in this bloody podcast, yeah, and so then we went through COVID, so we were having to train and stuff by ourselves. I think, if my memory, again, can't really remember much.
Because it got delayed, didn't it? Like the whole tournament got delayed a year.
They got delayed to 2021, which was kind of good for me because then it gave me more time to get rugby ready.
Yeah, cool.
Because before I played Dubai Cape Town, I hadn't played, I think my first game was like training with them.
Oh, wow.
Before leaving to Cape Town. Yeah, so I hadn't done any contact or anything post my ACL. Like that was my first kind of trainings. And so when they said that I could potentially go to Cape Town, Dubai, I was like, you guys know I haven't done anything. Yeah, like I've been running, but I hadn't done any tackling or anything like that because I didn't know that I was going to go in. My first tournament was supposed to be nationals when it was on. So went through all of that and then got more time to just train, get fitter, get stronger. And so come trial games, I was like, yeah, I'm ready. I was still behind Michaela Blight because she's freaking unreal and she's just a beast. And so, I was still behind her and still I knew I wasn't going to be starting. Like, I'm not stupid. I'm looking at her playing and I'm like, I am not going to be there. Like at that time, I was like, I'm definitely not going to steal your spot here. So I was going for the second spot. I was going for second winger. And I was happy with that. Like, which was, and I think it was quite nice with Bunce as well, because he made it quite clear. Like, he's like, this is my starting seven. Try and slot in where you can. So there was no, like, I wasn't confused. I knew where I stood. And so it helped me understand and not, like, I was so grateful to be second winger.
Yeah.
I know that sounds stupid, but like I was so grateful to not be the top and make that second winger spot. So when I got chosen, I was like, I did it. I made second winger spot, like, for the Olympic Games. Like, how cool is that? So that's kind of how that all turned out.
And then what was it like over there at the tournament playing?
It was so weird because we had no crowds. We had to wear masks everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
We weren't allowed to go out of the village.
And how weird was the COVID era?
Oh, my God. Yeah, we could have relaxed a little bit, eh? It was really weird. Like, we were lucky here, though, because we've got, like, so much land. So we didn't see anybody pretty much ever. Yeah. Our closest neighbors are like 300 meters away. We were very lucky, but and at the Olympics, I was so excited because it was in Tokyo and I'd lived there and I knew people there, but it was just so different because they couldn't come watch. Like, we couldn't see them. I couldn't hug them. We were like seeing each other through fences. So it's just different, but I really wanted to make that Olympics like for Gillies. Like, I had ruined his, so I was like, I'm going to make the most of it for him. And so I did that in however ways you could with the COVID restrictions, but yeah, just enjoyed the whole experience. And then when we won gold towards the end, I just remember being like, I was so angry with myself because I was so gutted because I didn't get on the field in the final.
Oh, true. You only allowed like 3 subs, is it?
5 maybe?
Oh, 5 subs. Oh, okay.
Is it 5?
I'm not sure.
I should know this. I really don't know.
I should know this.
See,
I remember watching it.
I've been starting now, so I don't know about subs. I don't actually know. Maybe it's 3. Maybe it's, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I played maybe like 3 minutes in Tokyo, like at the Olympics.
Oh, the whole tournament?
The whole tournament. Like, it wasn't much.
Yeah.
I got on and against maybe Russia, maybe Kenya. I'm not sure. But when it got to the harder games, like I didn't play much at all. So when we got the gold, I kind of felt like it wasn't earned because I didn't feel like what it was like on the field, which sucks because, again, I ruined that moment for myself. And I called my healer and I called Gillies. Gillies was freaking ecstatic. Like, he was so happy that we'd won gold and so, so proud. And I called my healer and she was like, you need to sort your shit out. Like, don't ruin this moment for yourself. And so when I got off the phone with her, I just like took a deep breath in, let it all go, and then just started crying happy tears. Like, because I called her straight after we had won. So we were walking to go and get our medals, and I was on the phone with her trying to like sort my shit out. Because I was like, fuck's sakes, Ray, I'm not going to ruin. I was like, I'm not going to ruin another fucking moment. Like, you're getting a gold medal, god damn it! Like, sort it out. And so, yeah, on the phone with her, and then I hung up, and I was like, yay! Like I so glad I sorted it, because when I was on the podium, like, it's one of the happiest moments of my life. Like, getting a gold medal around your neck, and it's heavy, so you like have to check your neck a little bit. Like, not everyone gets to experience that, and so yeah, I'm just glad I didn't ruin that moment for myself. But I think it's just, you know, as athletes, you keep wanting more and more, and you just keep wanting to have your big moment that you've dreamt of, and I think that's why I was so gutted with this one, because I was going to have that moment. And I knew it was going to happen because I, like, how I was performing, I knew I was going to do it. And like, whether we won or lost, like, I knew I was just going to have my moment, the feeling of going to an Olympic Games and doing well. Like, yeah. So I think I was going to try and, no, not I think, I was going to try and rectify that moment and show past Ray what I could do. So yeah.
And is that what inspired your journey for the next sort of 4-year cycle, to be that starter, be the star, I guess?
Not really, because I was supposed to have kids. I was supposed to try and have kids after that Olympics, because I said to Gillies, I was like, look, if we win gold, that's us. Like, let's try and start a family.
You're into it,
like, yeah, let's put this R18 stuff to use and
let the caffeine gun back in, and you're on.
And I don't even like. Would have been, not that it would have been perfect, you know, because we know how many people are struggling with trying to have families these days. But yeah, so that's what we were going to try and do, was try and start a family. And then I said to Gillies after that moment, I was like, oh, actually, I don't think I'm done. I think I want to keep going. And not because I wanted to be a star, not because I wanted that moment, because I had flushed that, and that was coming from a place of ego and not from a place of Ray.
Yeah.
And so I just wanted to play because I was enjoying it. Like, I was having so much fun. At trainings, I was having fun. I was coming home and I was tired, but I was like, oh, that was such a cool day. So I just wanted more of that. I wanted more of that feeling. And then naturally it progressed to me being a star. Like, I didn't have to want to be, sorry, not a star, but a starter. I don't have to
And a
push
star.
for that. Yeah, and a star.
Come on.
Yeah, but it was actually like a roller coaster, because then when I was starting, I was like, I don't even want to not start again. Like that's the like feeling I had. So then it went back into the ego place. So I was just flowing from like ego to loving Ray, ego to loving Ray, and it was, I had to keep checking myself every now and again, because at the start of this season I wasn't starting either. Like I had been pushed back to the bench, and so I was like, okay, I'm here again. I've already been through this. Don't be a dick. Don't go back to being a dick. Let's just, ride the wave and keep enjoying my time here.
Yeah.
Because even though I was 28 at the time, like that's young, but my time is almost coming. Like I'm not going to be in the jersey for much longer, so just try and enjoy it as much as I can. And I've had friends, that have come and gone from this team, and they're just like, just enjoy it. Just, a lot of shit happens, but just try and enjoy it. And so that was what my focus was. And now I'm not playing anymore. So
that challenge of professional women athletes balancing children and their sport and their profession is one thing that I don't think gets spoken enough about. Like it must be such a hard decision. You obviously want to have family. Gillies really wants kids, I know. So that decision to have to put that on hold or process that decision on what's going to be next. Am I going to sacrifice my career, or am I going to hold off to have kids later, or how's it going to work? I know how tough that must be.
Yeah, it's hard, because I'm like, why can't dudes just have them, like, well, why can't we just be pregnant for 3 months and put the baby in an incubator, put it in an incubator, and then just like, for 6 months just grows into this beautiful being. Oh gosh, it's so hard. Like even talking to some of my friends who have to check their eggs and, have to worry about all of that stuff to actually make sure that they can have kids. And then even when you decide that you want kids, there's miscarriages, there's trying to get pregnant but you can't, and so then you're still playing rugby, but like on the off chance that you try and get pregnant as well. Like it's a real confusing time for people. And I've got so many friends that have been trying but they just can't, or they get pregnant straight away too. Like it's just a bit of a roller coaster, and some are having to do IVF. And who would think, as a teenager or a young kid growing up, that you have to think about that stuff? Like you just think you fall in love and then you can have kids straight away. So it's weird as athletes having to think as well that if you get pregnant, you now have no job. Like you can't play while you're pregnant. That's the reality of it. And we're quite lucky, like with the NZAU and stuff, they're quite supportive once you have kids. I think there's like a 6 months worth of pay or something like that. So they are quite supportive, but that's still 6 months and then you have no job. You can't go back to rugby straight after that either. So it's not like you can go to an office job, or like you completely lose your job and you're completely done with the team. So that struggle as well is, if I decide to have kids, then I'm deciding to pull away from the team as well. So it's a bit of a fun ride that women have to go through. So all you lads listening, you're welcome.
Be grateful. Be grateful for your career, that you don't have to juggle. You can have kids and a family and still play it. That is does make you appreciate it. Yeah,
I reckon. And there is, like, when I see all the men out there, thanking their wives and everything, because they are the backbones. They are the ones that, especially like people in Japan as well, they've got wives and kids that move over there. And the mums are putting the kids in school and, just holding it down. So I really enjoy
unsung
seeing
heroes.
That. The unsung heroes. That's it.
Anyway, what's your plans now? Like, obviously you've got your TV gig over in Paris, but what are you thinking? Have you still got the ambitions to get back out there post recovery?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to come back. I am not done. And even if it's just 1 or 2 games, like I just want to show myself that I can still do it. And I know, like with the sevens team, like I know they've got so much to give. And so I want to be a part of that. Like, even if I'm just there at trainings and, you know, seeing the growth of some of the young girls like Manaya Nuku, Elena Saili and them, they're not young, but, you know, I want to see them do well, and I want to be a part of their journey. And I know I can still do that, and I've still got enough energy to be able to give to people like that. So yeah, I'm definitely not done. I'm definitely going to make a comeback. Definitely going to have that 22 Kaka on the back of my jersey again.
Yeah. Exciting.
That's the plan, is just to come back. I'm really lucky. I've got Peter Hughes, who's my physio, and then Albie, who's my trainer, and they've just been working with me as well and making sure that I'm staying on my toes. And yeah, it's been cool. Definitely going to make a comeback though.
Oh, exciting stuff. And Gillies is happy with that. He's still not pushing the kids too hard.
Yeah. Oh, look, I just said to him, I'm like, you don't have a job. We're on one income. We do not have money to be having kids right now. Like, money's coming. I can tell, like, I know money's coming.
Yeah.
But I'm like, right now, this is not like, we had to have noodles and tuna for dinner the other night because we didn't have any money to go and buy food. It's like being back in the budget days with me, like being a student, $3,500 contracts.
Suppose he's going through his transition, post footy, which I know so many guys, especially on this podcast, almost everyone's had their struggles through that period. So I know that's a tough time for basically every player to go through that, and he's going through that at the moment.
Yeah, and that's the hard thing. Not the hard thing, but the easy thing for me. So when he was over in Japan and I was in my transition of not knowing if I was going to play again, he was supporting me. He was the one working. Like, he was doing all of that. And now that he's in his transition, I just said to him, look, I don't want you to go back to rugby just for the money. I want you to find something that you enjoy, that you're passionate about. So if you want to go back to rugby and you're enjoying it, please do. But if you're just playing for money, then your body's going to get wrecked. You're mentally not going to be okay, because, you know, when you're overseas and your family's not there, and you're purely there for the yen, like, you know, it's real hard. You're lonely. You end up just going out and drinking with the boys, because what else are you going to do? You've got no family to, you know, be around. You don't have space at home to go walk dogs and stuff. You know, you don't know the language that well. So yeah, so it can be hard for athletes over there. And so I think it was starting to become hard for him. I won't put words in his mouth, but like, as a wife, I could see that it was getting hard. And so, I just said to him, I'm like, look, just come home, find your passion outside of rugby, take your time doing it so that you don't have to just, you know, do any job. And we're quite lucky that I had the money to be able to do that, because not everyone has that. That was 2 years ago, though. I didn't think it was going to take 2 years for him to find his passion. So, Gillies, if you're listening to this, find a damn job, man. So he's just taken his time, and he's he's tried coaching. He's done his coaching course, and he's enjoying that. He loves jiu-jitsu, so he's doing that. And he just loves working around the farm and stuff too. So, yeah, and he loves doing the media stuff with me as well. So,
options. Yeah. What a wife, though, to give him those opportunities to come back. Because I know, like, I don't know any player who's over in Japan by themselves, without their family or partner enjoying it. Like, it can be very lonely and isolating. So, it's nice that he's back there with you, and a beautiful part of the country by the looks. But we will go to our questions, because this has been one of the greatest episodes ever. This is so good.
Too much yarning, my bad.
No, we'll keep going, and we'll go through some questions. We got thousands came in on the Instagram. Heaps of dodgy ones.
You weirdo.
Yeah, who was that? I thought it was one of your mates. I had to. Definitely R18 questions came through from one random.
Yeah, someone asked to see my tits as well. Guys, I've got pics, okay? You will be very, very disappointed. You little weirdos.
What, did they message you that?
Yes, replied to the story that you put up on my page. I was like, you friggin' weirdo.
Oh, I apologise. They're not my fans. They're your ones.
I know. I was like, fuck, if this is the community that I've built, I'm getting off Instagram.
Oh, that's funny. Okay. Anyway, first question. How'd she get the nickname Horse? No, I didn't even know that was your nickname.
That is not my nickname. My nickname's Razor. So,
Razor.
But R-A-Y-Z-A.
Okay, I was going to say, competition for who's the real Razor in New Zealand rugby.
No, he can keep that one. Ew.
Okay, next one. Ask her how good her tan is. Now, this is from one of your teammates.
Sarah Hiddeny, I hate you, and I hope you get a T-shirt tan when you're over in France.
What's the story there?
Oh, she's in the sun for 2 minutes, instant tan. Like, she's got beautiful genes, and I hate it because I have to sit out for 30 minutes with my coconut oil on and
full
everything.
Process.
Yeah, full process, and she just naturally has it. So, Sarah Hiddeny, I know it's you, and I don't like you.
Well, you're right, it was her, and she's got another question for you too.
Okay.
Ask her why she doesn't drink anymore.
Oh, she's really putting me on the spot here. I'm going to get it back. So I don't drink anymore because I get hemorrhoids. Do you guys know what hemorrhoids are?
Yes.
Your wife might know because she's had kids.
4
So
years.
every time I drink, I get it. I call them hemis because I don't like saying the word hemorrhoid.
Yeah.
But anyway, I get a hemi every time I drink. It used to be 3 drinks, but it is now 1.
Wow.
So for about 2 years now, I have not gotten drunk. I haven't had more than 2 drinks.
2 drinks is the limit before a hemorrhoid. Or hemi.
Yeah, before hemi. But it actually it started as that, and then I was like, actually, I feel so much better without it.
Yeah.
I just not a fan anymore. So thanks for that, Sarah Hiddeny. You hear me?
But I think so many people say that, like they stop drinking for a certain reason and they realize, geez, this is actually way better.
Oh, it's the life. And I think because I can dance on a table sober.
Yeah, well, that's
I will get on a karaoke machine. Yeah, I'll get on a karaoke machine sober. I don't need any alcohol to get up on a stage and dance.
Yeah.
And so, when I was not drinking, I'm like, why did I ever drink?
Yeah.
Like, I'm all good. And I do it without a hangover.
Yeah,
so
wow.
it's fine.
And that's a gift to be able to do that. Like, not many people, I certainly couldn't get up and dance on a table sober.
Well, that's what I would say to Gillies all the time too. I'm like, when you're sober, you don't talk to anybody, but when you're drunk, you're around talking and yarning. I'm like, do it sober. Like, that's the real you. Go do it sober.
Yeah.
But I'm the queen of smoke bombing now as well. So
it's always been a gift of mine.
It's a talent I've learned.
Yeah.
Oh, has it?
I love it. Yeah. The smoke is a smoke bomb.
Yeah.
No one even knows you're gone.
No, they don't even remember the next day either. So it's perfect.
Yeah. Great wee tactic. Okay. Next one. What positive and negative effect has social media had on you?
Positive is I'm able to help people that I would never be able to reach.
Yeah.
Like the amount of people that message me just sharing their whole life with me. I'm pretty much a stranger. It's a privilege, and I'm like very honored to be able to do that. The negative.
Do you get any negative comments, or do people jump on you? Not really.
Yeah, some people do. But I think it's more like it's nothing. It's stupid stuff. Like it's nothing that actually hurts. But
all the requests for nudes is probably your one.
Yeah, you weirdo. Sorry, I'm just bringing you to the charger because I'm like so prepared like that and didn't charge my laptop properly. So not really much negative stuff. Just maybe having to be strong and know who I am so that I don't get lost in the likes and in the comments, and just remembering what I'm doing it for, and that is just to make one person feel a sense of belonging or a sense of happiness. That's my only goal for my pages.
Ooh, I like it.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very
so
good.
as long as I'm doing that, then I'm happy.
You're on.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, next one. Did you ever nail that jump step with a blank face?
I did. I
ya?
really did. I nailed it. Gillies was happy with the jump step, and then didn't get to use it on the world stage. I only had to use the goosey because I got injured the next tournament.
Well,
so
that's going to be the comeback. That's going to be the first one, I reckon.
that is going to be the comeback. Yeah, I'll keep perfecting it in my rehab.
The other one people want to see here is, will you ever try and give the ref a high five like Gillies?
I already did try.
Oh, did
but
you?
I got denied.
Oh,
yeah.
no.
In Singapore, I tried to high five him and it didn't work out. And I got in a bit of trouble for that.
Oh,
too,
did you?
So nobody do it, okay? Don't do it, guys.
What? How much trouble? Like, what sort of trouble do they?
Oh, no, just
bit of a
like
warning.
a bit of a warning.
Pull your
Because
head in.
like, imagine if he did high five me.
Yeah.
Like, he would have gotten so much trouble.
Oh, yeah.
And then there would have been bias from other teams. Like,
Yeah.
it just wouldn't have looked good on his part. So
Yeah.
fair enough.
Fair enough.
I took that.
Okay, next one. This is something that you're going to love. This one. As a teen girl wanting to be a black fern, is there any advice you can give me to get me out there?
I would say train hard in rugby, but make sure you've got something that fills your cup. Go hard, do your early morning trainings, all of that stuff, but make sure you're still having fun outside of that. Yeah.
Wow. She's going to make it. I look forward to looking back, maybe interviewing her one day, and she's like, the moment that I knew I was going to make it was listening to me.
Yeah, whatever that may be. It
Right.
could be just dancing in the lounge with some loud music or, just anything. But make sure there's something else.
Yeah. Beautiful. Okay. Top tips to stay positive.
Oh, top tips. I'll just go through my routine. So I always wake up and do a meditation.
How long?
It can be from like 10 minutes to 40 minutes, depending on how cuckoo I am that morning.
Longer if you're cuckoo or shorter if you're cuckoo?
Longer.
Okay.
If I'm cuckoo, because I'm like, I really need this.
Yeah.
It can be 10 minutes, 40 minutes, whatever you may need. But I always just go into YouTube, and if I need to release anger, if I need to be grateful, if I need, depending on what I need that day, I'll just go into YouTube and be like 10-minute gratitude meditation or 30-minute abundance meditation, because I need to feel, an abundance of love and joy or whatever. If I need to get happy, 10 minutes happiness meditation. So that's one thing that helps me get centered for the morning to deal with whatever's going to come for me that day or at me that day. Yeah. That's probably one thing.
That's a great tip. Geez, so much good advice on this. Okay. Who is your celebrity crush other than Gillies?
Oh, I don't really have a celebrity crush. Like, if I just watch a movie, I'm like, yum. Oh, actually, have you seen Divergent?
Yes, I have.
So his name's Four.
Four?
And he's on Divergent, yeah.
It's a strange name.
He's handsome.
Four as in the number?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
But that's like his nickname.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, he's it. Good choice.
He is it. He is one of.
He's going to be very searched after this. I look forward to seeing his numbers spike. Okay, is the NRLW something that attracts you? Yeah.
It is. Definitely once I've finished, or maybe not even finished, but definitely once I've done everything that I can in the Sevens jersey, then I would be super keen to do that.
Yeah. Have you ever played it, league or?
No. No, Gillies and I were just watching the games, trying to figure out what position I would play and everything.
What do you reckon? What'd you come up with?
Fullback.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
I don't know what they do, but definitely not a 3 or 4, and I don't think a winger.
Yeah.
So we've gone for fullback.
Oh, nice, man. You would be good at.
And because I love Tamika Upton.
Oh yeah.
Her and Uppy Nichols. Like, when I watch them play, I'm like, oh my gosh, they're so cool. Yeah. So that's probably
Did you ever play 15s?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I did.
Did you ever try and go for the Black Ferns or?
Yeah, I think if I didn't go to Sevens, I would have gone Black Ferns.
Oh, yeah.
But I just like it's so hard to focus for 80 minutes. So, especially when it's a fours game, like when it's raining and it's a fours game, I'm like on the wingboard. But yeah, I had a cool as like that's how I first got into rugby. I was playing 15.
Yeah.
And I played full varsity in Hamilton and Waikato. And that was like the time of my life. I was having so much fun because just they were so welcoming.
Yeah.
And it was such a community game at that time as well. So yeah, I reckon it just made me love rugby.
Oh, very cool. Did you put your hand up for the World Cup?
Yeah, nah. I wasn't keen. Was I injured? Maybe. No, I wasn't, I don't think. I watched from afar and it was amazing to be a part of from afar.
It was, hey, what a tournament. Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. It was fun as to watch, and it was cool to get like people who don't usually watch rugby, like seeing them get all into it. Like, I loved that. Yeah.
Oh, the women's game took a massive leap post that, and I guess same with the women's sevens. Every time there's a big tournament on, how much the game grows and how much people are inspired by what the girls are doing. I mean, it's pretty impressive to see.
Yeah, bring the sevens back to New Zealand, I reckon.
Yeah, man. That Wellington Sevens was my favourite weekend on the calendar every year. Oh, but absolutely ruined it, whatever happened there. Bring it back. Hey, last question. Best piece of advice you have for a Woodlad listener? And you've given so much advice already. I'm not sure if you'll have anything else, but...
oh my goodness. Probably find out who you want to be, not who your coach wants you to be, not who your mum wants you to be, who your girlfriend wants to be, who your friends want you to be. Like figure out what you love, what you want to do, and try to stick to that every day.
Love that.
I don't know if that's good advice or not. Like
potentially the best.
No, definitely not.
That will be the headline of the book of Woodlad advice that I release one day. But man,
I bet you say that to everybody. Yeah.
Oh, I do, but it just keeps getting better, and that is the best.
You should have given me some time, and then I could have, just put my meditation voice on and. Oh gosh!
I appreciate you coming on. It's been such an awesome yarn. I knew it would be. For some reason, it feels like I've known you for years, or even though this is the first time we've met. But hearing your story and going through it has been very inspiring for many. I know it will be. So. Yeah, all the best over in France on the mic, and then your journey to rehab and get back out on the field. Looking forward to seeing you back out there. But really appreciate you coming on.
Thank you. It's cool to yarn to you. My dogs are actually outside waiting for their walk again, so I'm glad I could spend the time with you. So thank you.
Appreciate you. Thank you so much.